Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about a very interesting topic which is called the Azure Stream Analytics. So, Stream Analytics is basically a complex event processing engine. What we mean by that is if you're having high velocity data coming through and you want to do some sort of analysis and query on the fast streaming data, we use Azure Stream Analytics. But there are fundamental core concepts you need to understand about Azure Stream Analytics. Let's dive into it. The first one is we have to understand what is the difference between a batch processing versus stream processing. So, what is batch processing? As you might know, pretty much the lot of payroll, monthly and month-end processing, daily batch processing, all falls into the bracket of batch processing. So, in this scenario, what there is a bunch of jobs. These jobs would generate some sort of a data, and all those data would be consolidated and batch processed to get some meaningful inferences. This is well known, which has been running for decades together, but there are some key things you need to understand. Between the job and the data, there will be some sort of a time latency because of the transportation layer, because of how the jobs are being done, or there are some other factors that would delay the actual data processing, or getting the data into the data processing zone. And when the data lands into that batch processing zone, there is also some processing latencies, because traditionally the batch processing is done on a sequential level instead of parallel. So what we mean by that is, let's say there are 5 jobs. Most likely the job 1 would run before 2. Basically job 2 would run before 3. Basically this adds, because you're doing sequential, you're adding latency to the actual processing. In the end you get the result. So basically, in summary, the batch processing, the processing is done in stages and not in parallel. So before I get into this stream processing, I really want to introduce a very key concept within stream processing, which is event. So basically, what's an event? Basically, event is triggered from a business process of any type of activity. It generates events. The event has got 2 key components: an event header and an event body. So basically, that constitutes a single event. So what is stream processing? Data is processed in real time as they're received. The speed is achieved to processing parallelly. For example, in this scenario, instead of jobs, we call them as processes, and these processes would generate events, and the events are processed using event process. So basically, in this scenario, what's happening is we are processing the entire thing in parallel without any latency. That's why you're able to get high, fast processing mode, and we call them as near real time or real time. So what we mean by that here is, let's say if you're running telemetry on some sort of appliance or a device, for other things like traffic flow management or real-time traffic flow analysis, we'll be using stream processing. Within event processing, there are different types of them. One is a simple event processing. Think about simple event processing is very simple. There is no complex processing involved. Even as events are received, you just basically export or import or process that result. Within this other category called event stream processing. In the event stream processing, basically the data is processed at real time as and when it reaches. So within that there are a lot of stream processes. Each of the 3 stream processes would process a given set of data points. Within the event stream processors, there is other category called complex event processing. So basically, the complex event processing is used to understand or derive insights from a large volume of data in near real time or real time basis by monitoring, analyzing data, and act on them while the data is in motion. See, Azure Stream Analytics is basically a CEP engine. So within that stream processing, there are 4 key concepts you need to understand. The first one is called event correlation. Think about event correlation as there are multiple events are coming together, and you're trying to correlate between this event to get or derive a meaningful information. So even streaming, basically what we mean by that is basically as streams of event coming through, we will store that in a massively redundant and scalable storage system. Other two concepts are parallel jobs. So basically, there are two types of parallel jobs. One is embarrassingly parallel jobs and not embarrassingly parallel jobs. In embarrassingly parallel jobs, what we mean by that is a task or a process would be split into very minute number of pieces, and these jobs don't have any dependency on each other, which means you can run them at parallel without any affecting any of the relationship between them. On the not embarrassing parallel jobs, where there are a lot of dependency between the tasks, when we mean by that is a task A is depending on task B and task B depending on task C. Basically, there's a dependency between the task. In this case, we call them, when you're processing them, we call them as a not embarrassingly parallel jobs. So that finishes the core concepts introduction. The next section, I'm going to take you down into the key concepts from the Azure Stream Analytics. So first, we'll start with the input source and what the stream engine is all about, and the output source. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next section.